back, I was part of a dance production called Noyal, which turned out to be more of a journey than just a production. When I first got chosen to be a part of it, I was taken aback that somebody thought I had the potential to perform, and that's when I chose to deliver. I personally believe that skill plays a small role compared to commitment and hard work in anything that we do. So although I wasn't the best dancer, I was relentless. I'm not going to lie and say it was glamorous or easy. We would dance until 10 in the night on a weekday, right through heavy downpours of rain, where it almost drowned out the blasting music. We would dance until we couldn't anymore, and this transformed me as a person. It showed me that I didn't need to know legends or myths to dance, because it was about a little river in my city and her life. We didn't need to know who the gods were or the epic Mahabharata. We just needed to convey a message that impacted the audience. And that's when I realized I could dance about pretty much anything. Being a Bharatanatyam dancer didn't just mean memorizing movements and then performing them. It meant I had to strengthen my body to first get those movements right. It meant doing exercises and warm-ups every single day. Practicing basic adavus and doing stretches before my piece was all a part and parcel of it. Just like a sport, it required me to keep my body fit and maintain a healthy diet. Now, many times I've been asked what sport I play, and when I shake my head and I say, I dance, I'm a dancer, more often than not, I have been told that dancing isn't a sport. Well, I'd like to see you all sitting in Aramandi or doing splits or mastering complex poses, because maybe it isn't a sport, but it definitely is a physical education of sorts. Now, what exactly is a physical education? It is something that obviously focuses on developing physical fitness and helps in performing and enjoying day-to-day activities. It also helps you build your social skills. Now, just by pursuing Bharatanatyam, I have improved my strength and stamina immensely. But apart from bodily fitness, it has contributed to many other things. From simple everyday stuff like posture and balance to much bigger aspects like determination and perseverance to achieve my goals. Many enter the world of sport to relieve their stress, and many others do the same using dance as an outlet for their stress. Now, many of us pour our emotions into our writing, and many others do the same using dance. Moreover, for people like me who aren't big fans of talking, it provided a platform to convey without conversing, or rather it allowed me to converse in a different way. If you take pretty much any dance form, although each possesses its own array of movements, they're all employed to narrate stories, to communicate a message to an audience. Dancing is no easy task. It requires as much devotion and hard work as any other activity, if not more. But it has taught me that if you are passionate about something and if you want it enough, you will eventually get it. But if you take away all of these things, I feel like the only thing left is the pure joy of the art form itself that makes a dancer such as myself crave to dance. In a way, all else is just an added advantage. Dancing for me is an escape. It lets me lose myself in it, leave out all the rest. And when a dancer loses herself in the art form, she finds devotion. Now, as soon as I say devotion, many think of it as going to the church or mosque or temple. They think it is performing elaborate rituals or chanting mantras every day. But it doesn't have to be only these methods. I think these are all just different paths to the same destination. That is being as close as possible to your true self and forgetting the limitations of the physical form. When I put it like that, I know it sounds extremely complex, but each of us has experienced this in some form or another. When we let something we are passionate about take over and lose ourselves in it, it is devotion. When a dancer realizes that she is the art form, that she is part of something bigger than herself and immerses herself in it, it is devotion. For when we are not aware is when we are our true selves. It is similar to floating on water. When we try to control it or oppose its flow, we start to drown. However, when we surrender to it, when we start to go with the flow, we start to enjoy the beauty of the water and floating. So the concept of manodharma in dance is taken from this. It means improvisation and depends on three things mainly. The concept that you are dancing about, your body, and the space that you have. So you take these three aspects and allow it to dictate what comes next. It is basically letting that moment of ecstasy take over and determine what you are going to perform. It does not come from memory. It is not a practiced chain of movements. Rather, a beautiful randomness that just comes to you, portraying your ideas in a way you never thought possible before. So although I have stressed upon how dance has shaped me as an individual, on how it has developed my physical and mental abilities, I feel like the most that it has given me is the opportunity to lose myself and yet somehow connect to my inner self every single time I dance. Therefore, allowing me to explore a completely different path to devotion. So as much as I have given to dance, it has and will continue to give me more. I found refuge in my art form, Bharatnatyam, and I hope someday a few of you will too.